The Nigerian police has blamed IPOB and the Eastern Security Network for the attack on prison facility and police formations in Imo State as Governor Uzodinma inspects the crime scene. And from Ebonyi to Imo and some other parts of Southeast region, especially in Abia State, security tension in the South region is becoming worrisome. We analyze the situation of things there. We're still in the mood of Easter, everyone, and it's Easter Monday. Welcome to Politics today on Channels Television. I'm Sean Kimbaloye. Security appears to be deteriorating and things escalating in several parts of the country. But let's give you some developing story right here, right now. Some cheering news for some families in Kaduna State who are waiting for their world abducted by the bandits. Today, 5 of the 39 kidnapped students of Federal College of Forestry Mechanization, Kaduna, have been found. The students are currently undergoing medical checkup at a military facility. The 4 students are still in captivity. Tonight, our attention is on the situation in the southeast region of the country. Just yesterday, the Vice President, Professor Yemi Osinbajo, was in Imo State to assess the situation of things there after a suspected herdsman attacked a Gedegede community in Ishelu local government area. Today, the Nigerian Correctional Center in Abuja says 1,844 inmates at the Federal Correctional Center in Owerri, the Imo State capital, are currently on the run and are being tracked by government authorities. The inmates broke out of jail after gunmen attacked the facilities in the early hours of today when they set the buildings on fire and released the inmates. No fewer than 50 vehicles within the premises were also set ablaze. The attackers are said to have gained entrance into the facility using explosives to blast the administrative block. They arrived at the center in their large number in several Hilux pickup vans and Sienna buses armed with sophisticated weapons and immediately engaged the security personnel on duty in a fierce gun battle. But the police is already reacting to this, and the Nigerian police forces blamed the attack on members of the indigenous peoples of Biafra and the Eastern Security Network. According to the Inspector General of Police, preliminary investigations reveal that the attackers are members of the proscribed indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB, and the Eastern Security Network, ESN. The Inspector General of Police has ordered the strengthening of security in Imo State with the deployment of additional units of police mobile force and other police tactical squads in the state, and also gave the directive that the Commissioner of Police and a special investigation team to fish out the perpetrators. Meanwhile, the Imo State Governor, Hope Uzodinma, has visited the scene of the incident alongside security chiefs in the state and condemned the incident in strong terms. He says he has already commissioned a detailed investigation into the incident with a view to ascertain the mastermind and bring them to justice. President Buhari has condemned the attack and has equally directed security and intelligence agencies in the state and the geopolitical zone to fully mobilize and go after the terrorists, apprehend them, and get them punished under the full weight of the law. He also called for the best efforts to be made to rearrest fleeing prison detainees, many of whom are believed to be deadly criminals. The big question here is, what exactly is going on in the southeast region of the country? We understand that in Abia State, the governor there, perhaps because of some of the situation of things, has ordered a curfew on Umuahia, the state capital. Things are deteriorating, and above all, what is the way out? Tonight, we shall be analyzing the situation for you from Abuja. Studio is a retired Assistant Inspector General of Police who was in Inalego. Thank you so much, retired AIG, for joining us tonight. And virtually is a retired Navy Commodore Kunle Olawumi, Head of the Department of Criminology and Security Studies at the Chrisland University of Nigeria. Thank you so much, Doc, for joining us tonight. Let me begin the conversation tonight with the retired AIG. Give us a sense of what this means. We've seen situation where the governor of Imo State had come out to say the attack or the military activities that we saw in some part of Imo State was to fish out and chase away members of ESN. But today, the police had said that IPOB and ESN are behind this attack. What does this mean?
Thank you very much. When you look at the trend and the pattern, the Nigeria Police High Command may not be totally wrong. The situation is very troubling, and it shouldn't be allowed to continue. It shouldn't be allowed to escalate. This is a time for all lovers of peace and lovers of Nigeria to come together, especially in Imo State and the whole of the Southeast region. I was AIG in charge on 9 Uma here, responsible for 4 states, Imo being one of them. This is not the situation that I left. So it's very troubling, but it is time for us. The police, we have to look at everything that is going on. But the police alone cannot do it. Public-spirited individuals from across the country, especially in the Southeast, must close ranks, support the Nigeria Police in any form, by way of information, by way of other logistical support, but especially information, so that the police will be able to intercept this kind of situation before they snowball into full-scale violence, as witnessed in Owerri today. So the situation that I see is a time for the police leadership at the national level, at the zonal level, and the command level to look at lessons learned. Especially, you've got to take it even from the end-SARS violence in Lagos and other places, because those lessons learned in those situations come in very handy. And I know that once people get together, the number is huge, and I'm also a little bit thinking about that they escape the eagle eye of the security agencies. But at a time like this, the police will always do its best, come out. And I'm very certain and optimistic that these guys, these criminals, they are criminals. Those went to set their colleagues who are in prison, their criminal accomplices, criminal conspirators and the rest of them. They went to set them on. And I think they just want to cause, there is something, there is an undercurrent. And I know the Nigeria Police Force that I know, they are going to look at it very carefully. What is happening? What is that making noise in the bush? Would you allow it to come to the road? Who are the masterminds of this? I am sure at this stage, the police will have quantum of information as to identity of these individuals. And in a few days' time, they will be apprehended. But my advice to the police, you've got to get your resources together. Look at the situation on ground. Look at the way you can support the command, not just Imo State Police Command, but all commands within that geopolitical zone. Because these individuals, they attacked police in Anambra, they killed some at checkpoint, collected their weapons. I know arrests were made, about 16 of them, by the IG's Intelligence Response Unit. But this is the time for being proactive. Let us not allow them take the battle to us. Let the police take battle to the, yes.
Yeah. Let me quickly apologize.
And intercept them.
Yeah. Apologies to cut in. Perhaps if my producer can play up that film again, the video of the attack, the crime scene, so that you can understand the scale of what happened in Owerri. There you go. It was a gun battle between these assailants and the security operatives. Interestingly, luckily, the police have said that the armory is intact, and it was an injured officer on the shoulder. That's the report from the Nigerian police force. But my worry here is that in all of this fierce battle that went on, for the police to come out to say the preliminary investigation has shown that a proscribed group, IPOB, and the Eastern Security Network is to be blamed for this attack. It does look like the police have narrowed this sort of attack to a certain group of people. So I'm looking at you giving us a sense of what this means, but because they're attacking security facilities and installations and formations. They attacked a military checkpoint also, from what we understand. What is the implication of the direct attack on the security formations?
I think the idea is to weaken and cause fear and apprehension and dampen the morale of the officers to be able to diminish their response capability. But when the police management team came up to suspect that IPOB could have carried out, and ESN could have carried out this attack, that will not limit the investigation to those two. Because when you go into an investigation, you go with an open mind. And I believe, I don't know the information that the Inspector General of Police has at this time, so I will not be able to comment very strongly on that. But when situations like this happen, you will commence your investigation from a certain premise. But as the investigation develops, other information could come and then alter your first impression. But based on the history, on the pedigree of this group, IPOB and ESN.
Okay, so let me quickly bring
in Anambra.
Yeah. All right, let me bring in retired Navy Commodore Olawumi, who is also the head of the department of in Chrisland University. From a criminologist's point of view, give us a sense of what you make of the situation, because in Imo, Abia, Ebonyi, Anambra, we've seen similar kind of situation. For a prison break, this is not the first time we are seeing prison jailbreak in Nigeria. At least in the last 5 or 6 years, we've seen several prison break. But what is the strategic thinking behind their silence mind, and what are the implications of what they have done today?
Thank you, Sean. I really appreciate this program. We have been saying that the morale of the police is at the lowest ebb at this time. And from the point of view of criminology, we have the ground zero analysis of this, and we have the 30,000 feet analysis. How come we have so much criminals in Nigeria? How come we have so much population that are not governed? So I think we should look at it more strategically. The challenge right now is the concept of human development. When you look at the Human Development Index of Nigeria, you can see it's very low. So if you want to look at it from the point of view that some guys just went to a place and start doing what they're doing, then we are not going to do justice to this topic. The justice that we can take to our population is that the issue of poor governance has actually led us to this. It's been long coming. We just didn't pay attention. Look at the Corruption Perception Index of Nigeria. Look at the Democracy Index of Nigeria. This is where the problem is. When you actually gather some people during election, you arm them, then you abandon them, this is what you're going to get. If you are a governor of Imo State for 8 years and all you did was to collect all the money and put it in your bank, this is what you're going to get. If the population, 60% of the population are not educated, they don't have hope, this is what we get. So what we are seeing in the Southeast is long coming. But Shewa, I have to quickly say something. That a country cannot face two frontal wars. I must mention this. The country is facing insurgency in the north, or you call it terrorism. Now we are facing another one from Southeast. This is going to be difficult for Nigerian security to actually unravel, except they come in quickly and try to nip this in the bud. We shouldn't pay politics with what is going on in the Southeast.
All right, let's take a breather. Almost 2,000 prison inmates are on the loose in Imo State. In Ebonyi State, there is a situation there. Anambra State has had its own fair share of attacks, and also in Abia State, the governor has moved to declare curfew on Umuahia. My analysts and guests tonight are giving us a sense of what this means and the solution to it. Stay with us, everyone. We'll be right back to discuss more. Thank you so much, everyone. Welcome back to the conversation. On the show tonight, we have the analyst speaking to us, retired Navy Commodore Adekunle Olawumi, and head of the Department of Criminology, Christian University. And from our Abuja studio is Mr. Wilson Inalego, retired Assistant Inspector General of Police and the security consultant. Thank you so much, gentlemen, for joining us. Let's go back to our Abuja studio. About 2,000 inmates at that prison facility are on the loose. That means a lot, isn't it? Because out of those are going to be hardened criminals. What is the implication, and how can the security operatives handle what may become of the activities of those who are now on the loose in the entire population?
That would be a major challenge for the police and other law enforcement agencies in dealing with issue of criminality, because that could lead to an escalation of crimes. Because if you watch the recent press conferences by the police, I think Frank, you see that some of those who even serve their term upon coming out go back to crime. So you are going to have an escalation of crime. But what I think is going to happen, there will be an active collaboration between the police and the correctional service, as well as the DSS and other security agencies. It calls for collaboration. It calls for support by the public, because these people are not ghosts. They will not just disappear into the thin air. Therefore, the police within in Imo State and in the South region, and of course across the country, must begin to seek again active collaboration with the public. Suspicious people, transport union people, somebody dressed in a way that looks suspicious, you question, you report to appropriate security agencies. Helplines should be properly circulated, and the pictures of someone, especially those hardened ones, should be circulated, giving wide circulation, so that the police, the public, and everybody can come together. This is not a time to sit back and blame the police or anybody. It's no time for blame game. It's time for serious action. Because if we don't do something and get these guys apprehended, go to complete their various terms, as the case may be. And another thing I wish to say, the situation we have is not just about the police. I want to call upon our elders, our youths, market women, and the rest of them. Let's come together to support the police. It's only when we do that that we can. The signs are not good. They are not good. Therefore, the appeal that I have, that number one, I want to say, the escape of nearly 2,000 prisoners and those from the police that are under investigation does not portend well for the security of life and property within that immediate area.
All right. So I mean,
what can we do? Quick arrest.
Okay, great. So let's look at it from this point of view. The police have said IPOB, ESN are behind this attack. How do you contain this proscribed group that has been blamed for this attack?
First of all, every crime, like policies, is local. These people, the ESN, where they conduct their training, take place in bushes in communities. I know that some state governments have forest guards. They see these people. You've got to create that public awareness. There should be a public awareness program, and the police training the public to get to identify these people, teach them how do you pass on this information to relevant authority. This will help, because IPOB, ESN, they remain a huge challenge. So the way to go about it is early information, apprehend their masterminds, apprehend their sponsors. The local government chairman and the governors must give support to the police, but unless you have information, don't dictate to them. Allow the commissioner of police, once it comes to professional line about deployment of officers, even if a DPO is posted to your community, you may not like his face, but the CP whom he works under will know him. Even the commissioner of police, allow the inspector general of police, who know his officers, to post the right officers to your place. Take politics out of security. Life is precious. The way to curb it is allow police to exhibit their professionalism and hold officers accountable. Increase the morale of the officers. They will go out after this. I don't know whether those whose property were destroyed in the NSAS have been compensated. These things have direct effect on the morale of officers. This will help. But what I want to say, the situation looks so terrible, but it's what the Nigeria Police Force that I know can rise up to with support of the public. So, with support of government, they can rise up to it.
So the worry here, and perhaps you can give us a sense of how we can find solution to the problem. The worry here is that I remember when the Anambra incident happened, there was an order that there should be a reinforcement in those communities that the attack happened there. In Ebonyi State, the vice president had also ordered that there should be a reinforcement. Now in Imo State, there is also an order from the president that there should be reinforcement. This reinforcement are from the number of the inadequate number that the police have always complained about. Is the police overwhelmed?
I think the police is certainly not overwhelmed. They are capable. But what I want to suggest, some of the officers on certain duties, we have an emergency, sort of. Therefore, I expect that at this time, we look at our deployments. Who is where? Who is there? Every state police command, every division, every police mobile unit, special protection unit, counter-terrorism unit, where are your deployments? Draw the personnel from the offices. Draw the personnel from duties that are not that critical and boost your manpower. Because you aren't going to get the police personnel just from the street. If you recruit them, it's going to take minimum of 6 months to train them. And they will not even be right for deployment for such high risk because they'll be young officers. Therefore, what I believe the IG, and I think the IG is already thinking about it, is look at the deployments you have at various places. Individuals, companies, look at those you have. Look at them critically. Bring them out from the offices, force headquarters, command headquarters, commissioner of police office. How many people do you need? You need somebody to man the computer and few others. Let the rest go to the street. Draw them out. This is about optimization of resources. The vehicles you have, the arms you have, the personnel that you have. Look at where the shoe is pinching you so much. Get the personnel there. That's what I think the IG is doing.
All right. So,
all right.
So I think to wrap up this conversation, I understand that we just have about 20 seconds to do that. But with the growing tension we're seeing around the Southeast region, there is Amotekun, which the Southwest governors have deployed and brought up. The Southeast governors were also thinking about a regional security network. Do you think that this will be important? And do you think that that should be deployed urgently? And how do you hope that it can work with the existing police structure on the ground?
There are various ways you can support the police through information. Like we have Eastern Security Network being a challenge to security in the Southeast. I don't see how Amotekun could be different. Don't forget, in February 1968, following the Gobi panel set up by Aguiyi Ironsi, which General Gowon, then head of state, implemented, which abolished the multiple police forces in Nigeria, where the same things are happening. Misuse by politicians, by traditional rulers, and all that brought together. And now we are in a crisis of unity in diversity. So for me, what we need to do is support the police. The Police Trust Fund should rise up to the occasion urgently, procure vehicles, pay allowances of personnel who are on duty, give drop personnel that are needed, get presidential directive to embark on mass recruitment, train them 6 months, and then, so getting multiple forces, which was abolished in February 1968, is not going to solve this problem. Rather, to escalate it.
Retired Assistant Inspector General of Police Wilson Enalago, thank you so much. And also retired Naval Commodore Kunle Olawumi, head of the Department of Criminology and Security Study at Chrisland University. Thank you so much, gentlemen, for your time tonight. And that's our show for today, everyone. And thanks for watching. I'm Sean Kimale. Bye-bye.